Hello and welcome to Some Random Leftist. I am he, and today we'll be talking about Lenin and the Easter Rising. Okay, so I'm going to assume you do know who Lenin is, this guy, but I'll give a quick historical rundown of the Easter Rising. So the Easter Rising happened in Easter of 1916. The Irish Volunteers, who were a broad base and nationalist coalition, and Cumann na bhFan, who were their female counterparts, fought alongside the Irish Citizen Army, who were socialists led by James Connolly, and they captured strategic positions in Dublin, including famously the GPO. While the nationalists' opinions differed on the Rising, and many didn't take part at all, the famous proclamation of the Republic showed that the nationalists who did participate were willing to accept socialist demands if it meant liberation from the British. Now on to Lenin. At the time of the Rising, Lenin was writing pieces on national self-determination and imperialism, and wrote of the Rising, "It's a blow against the power of English imperialism." But Karl Radek, this guy, I don't know, he got gulagged or something, called it a petty bourgeois putsch, which really annoyed Lenin, obviously. He put him down with this fantastic expert from the Discussion on Self-Determination summed up. The term putsch, in its scientific sense, may be employed only when the attempt at insurrection has revealed nothing but a circle of conspirators or stupid maniacs, and has aroused no sympathy among the masses. The centuries-old Irish national movement, having passed through various stages and combinations of class interest, manifested itself in particular in a mass Irish National Congress in America which called for Irish independence. It also manifested itself in street fighting, conducted by a section of the urban petty bourgeois and a section of the workers after a long period of mass agitation, demonstrations, suppression of newspapers, etc. Whoever calls such a rebellion a putsch is either a hardened reactionary or a doctrinaire hopelessly incapable of envisioning a social revolution as a living phenomenon. Tell him, Lenin. With all that said, the Bolsheviks didn't really understand Ireland. H.G. Wells alleges that when talking to the party leader Zinoviev in 1920, he could not make heads nor tails of the question, "Do you think the Sinn Féiners or the Ulstermen are the proletarians?" There was also the issue of religion. The proclamation itself calls upon God, and the issue of nationalism in Ireland had always been an ethno-religious one, as well as one of class. The Easter Rising, being by its very name religious, was apparently translated in 1966 as Red Easter, the Irish Citizen Army as the Red Guards, and the British Army as the White Terror, echoing the Russian Revolution, and maybe allowing the Bolsheviks and the Soviets at the time to really understand Ireland by sort of translating their culture to it. But in both Ireland and Russia, national and class issues were highly linked, and Lenin and his comrades successfully used the example of the Rising and the Irish liberation movement as a whole to agitate for separate Soviet republics in 1922. Despite some, like Radek, who disavowed it, the Rising was seen as a fantastic example, if not a successful one, of socialist revolutions being possible and feasible ways to solve questions on national self-determination. That being said, as time went on and the Rising faded from the minds of the Bolsheviks, it came to be viewed less as an example of self-determination and as part of the broader picture of decolonisation. Connolly himself, the leader of the Irish Citizen Army and my husband, was called the Irish Lenin by the Soviet press, and his son was personally welcomed by him. Despite some modern reactionary belief, Lenin and his Bolsheviks fully supported and recognised the importance of the Easter Rising. The lessons of the Rising and the importance of anti-imperialist solidarity are still relevant today, and Lenin's writings remain as poignant and as influential as when they were written. I'll leave you with some more of Comrade Lenin's sick burns. Have a nice day, comrades.